try to synthesize that. It is not in this society, we try to synthesize. And later on, because Swami Sivananda has told you, Swami Sivananda first, he was a medical person, a doctor, a government service in Burma. So one day he was just traveling, and in the platform, I think he got a book, Swami Vivekananda book, so he participated and read that. He is inspired by that book. That is his history, and he turned out to be a spiritual person. So what we have found that the Swami Vivekananda's ideology may be that on Swami Sivananda it was a very dominant factor. That is throughout Swami Sivananda's activity, if you go through that, you find the Swami Vivekananda's slogan. That is the social, the work activity, the seva, we call it, most probable. So his most Swami Sivananda, he just done it through this thing. Or the service to the poor, service to the needy. But if you go through his book, you will find he tries, but through his activity, through his action, he always tries to synthesize. He is the most burning example to synthesize all this. It is the most burning example from the synthesizer. He put into his philosophy. It is the most important philosophy of Swami Sivananda. Very few actually understand this thing. Swami Sivananda's real philosophy is that Swami Sivananda means, I am talking about the Rishikesh Swami Sivananda, Divine Life Society. His main philosophy is that in this hectic society, it is very difficult to go through a particular. So you can take some knowledge, you can say take some practice, technical practice, Yoga. You can do some service to the people, and all these things you should do with a pure goal that I am doing for the universe, for the benefit of the universe, not for the benefit of us. This is the main philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, of course, and main philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, on which his whole action is centered. So that is what, and he gave the Swami Vivekananda was not given that such name or like that, but Swami Sivananda given a new path, that is the synthesis of yoga. Synthesis of yoga of synthesis. This is purely the given by Swami. So Swami Sivananda, that contribution to the spiritual life is the synthesis of yoga. Though it was given previously so many people by Swami, particularly the Swami Vivekananda, but Swami Sivananda is the first person who just categorically given it. So this is the thing we try to understand. Why after that we start? But all our philosophy is just first of all we start that philosophy, and that philosophy is most important thing is our philosophy of Patanjali Yoga, or better to say that it is the Raja. So tomorrow from next class we will start first what is Raja, what is the main criteria of Raja, and then when we discuss that here the sloka meditation is there, but the position of meditation is this. I think I try my best to just share my experience and try to ponder it in your meditation. I think somebody you have previous the three week meditation, I think some of concentration or some of not talking about meditation in silence, but you are in this like I understand from this so
one thing is one question for confusion in my say. You believe meditation is an achievement. Then in one case, when I will do and perform meditation,
you are performing concentration. That is the mistake you are doing. But in concentration.
Another thing, if I practice in the morning, normally my habit is taking a lot of water in empty stomach. That is not a problem. Immediately after
no, that is not full stomach, you should not do concentration. After full, still I am talking about that is the stomach or full or empty, that's the matter.
in the stomach.
Whether it is water or wine, that doesn't matter.
Then in that case, after meditation, after how much time you can take water or
Half an hour. At least 20-25 minutes. You should not, that will come to that point later on. Because your rumor is not be subsided in 1 day, that chapter is there. Please try to, this is my utmost request to you, that each and everything is given. And the step by step, the chapter, the sloka will come. And it will discuss all this, that what we are talking about. Everything is discussed. Asana, pranayama, concentration, meditation, everything is discussed. Nothing is my own word. Whatever it is there, the sloka, I will tell you the sloka by sloka, discussion will be there. So what I am talking about, for the time being, you try to understand, it should be empty stomach. And after the practice, whether it is asana, whether it is a meditation, whether it is a pranayama, after practice, that is say in a bookish manner, I can tell you half an hour, but at least for practical manner, 20-25 minutes. You should not take any drink, you should not take any food, you should not take bath. Only after 25 minutes, 20 minutes, you can take bath or it is clear. So do your work, no problem. You start your work. You should end here. The problem is that tomorrow you can solve it. Yeah? The time is over, the meditation will do something, somebody is down there.
Just one thing. I'm an amateur in meditation. I do it my own. So, meeting people like you. The thing is that meditation goes down the system of the world. And the blood circulation, even your respiration also counts. Naturally, your blood circulation will also be slowed. Now I do have a heart problem. Recently it has been identified. And here more blood circulation is required. So should I stop meditation?
And the different your heart, blood supply in the heart is different. And blood from the heart to the body, that's the different. Am I correct, sir?
If I do meditation, whether the supply of blood in the heart will be less.
Meditation is not contraindicated. Meditation is allowed in even serious heart attack patients. Meditation does
It's
not.
not contraindicated. The language
Yoga, the asanas are, some asanas are, we advise don't do some strenuous asanas, but meditation can be performed even in serious heart patients.
So I can start doing it and stop it for 1 hour.
No, meditation is not advised to, we don't advise to stop meditation. We advise to not to do any strenuous physical exercise or any asanas that will cause more strain, that will increase the cardiac output. That's what you are telling me. That whenever you are doing strenuous exercises, your heart pumps blood. So, but meditation does not cause increased cardiac output. Meditation is not known to do any increased cardiac output. And it streamlines the heart function. More to say, if you do continuous meditation, it will be beneficial for your heart because it does not cause any disturbance in your cardiac rhythm or any cardiac problem. It will subside the cardiac problem. So we advise to do meditation to all cardiac patients.
Samhita between the beneficial but the voice is
that one he was asking another question that a sportsman that actually how a sportsman's heart gets adapted to the lower rate actually. You know, one person is doing marathon racing, 26 kilometer runs, his muscle mass is not big.
44 kilometers.
What happens, the more you do this practice, there is a certain amount of ATPase that is stored inside a particular unit of muscle. Muscle actually, ATPase. Actually, it is Krebs cycle, the glucose is converted to ATPase that gives energy to particular muscle. So if you do regular practice, the unit of ATPase that is stored in a particular unit of muscle increases. So not necessary that the heart will enlarge or heart may enlarge. It is not that heart will not enlarge. Heart will enlarge in few persons. But even if the heart is normal size, the unit of ATP energy stored in a particular unit of muscle, heart muscle increases. and
It's an adaptation.
adaptation. So heart becomes more efficient in pumping blood, not only pumping the acquisition of blood from the lungs actually. What happens, one side of the heart pumps muscle into pumps blood inside lungs, another portion collects blood from the periphery, another portion pumps blood to the brain and other parts. Mainly you can consider three parts. One portion collects all blood inside the that is the right ventricle. Right ventricle. Then right ventricle, then it pumps to the lungs actually. Pumps to lungs. Then it purifies, comes to the left atrium, again comes to the left ventricle, then left ventricle pumps to the whole body system. So this pumping cycle becomes more efficient in sports person. Obviously, they pump the required amount by less number of contractions. So a sportsman's heart usually they settle down between anything between 55 to about 64. So some people may have 60. We ordinarily have about our baseline is 70 to 74 our normal baseline pumping. But a sports person they settle between 55 to 65, and 60 is the average. 60. They tell that it is around 60. If they beat 60 times, the body's requirement is fulfilled. But our heart is not efficient, so we have to our heart has to pump 70 times. And that is several, that he told there are several brain mechanism there, local cardiac mechanism there. Several, it is a very complicated system, but it does not mean that heart is always bigger size than the normal.
Heart is always big.
No, it is not necessarily, but in 90% cases you will find that the heart is bigger. But in 10% cases also the normal size heart becomes also efficient, but the normal size heart also will not contract more than 60. The system
of... You are saying rightly, because medications ultimately lowers down the heartbeat.
Yes.
It goes even up to 40, 45. I have experienced myself less than 50, although my basal heart rate is more than 72. But during meditations, I try to understand, try to feel.
That is what we already told. Meditation reduces the heart rate also.
Requirement of the body is also reduced.
Actually,
that is also not very, very good one.
The BMI, the basal metabolic rate. There is one is called basal metabolic rate. Like if you are anxious, your basal metabolic rate increases. What is the basal metabolic rate? The total amount of oxygen demand that you place on the body. Actually, the glucose is digested by oxygen. So the total amount of oxygen demand you place on your body is called your basal metabolic rate. So if your BMI is high, then obviously your heart rate will be high. And what is that BMI? The amount of oxygen required by your muscles and also your brain. Your physical body, one portion, and mind another portion.
Based on the type of work you are doing.
So if you are anxious in the mind, your BMI increases. If you are doing physical exercise, your BMI increases. So you place more oxygen demand, so heart will pump obviously, because the heart has to...
Not only that, there is another language we use, the oxygen rate. That is carbon dioxide, conversion of carbon dioxide is a very, very, very efficiently in a sports lab also.
If I do try to solve a mathematical problem with more concentration, then BMI more.
Actually, what he is telling is after long years of practice, you can reduce your heart rate by meditation. Not that today you will sit down on meditation, your heart rate will come down to 74. No. You have to practice at least 4-5 years of intense meditation, then only you will get it.
It's an adaptation.
It is adaptation, it takes long time.
Next day we can discuss.
Yes.
So basic your message, you can do meditation with it.
That is beneficial for the heart.
Next day.
That gives maximum rest to the heart.
Yes, sir.